a second or third spot somewhere else, please. I'm not doing this if you're gonna like that in the shot. I wasn't interfering with his shot.
You hear that, Dad? She said, take a hike. She said she's not gonna do
Come
it.
on, honey.
So, Dad, tell us how you feel about taking the SAT tomorrow. Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, there's no stakes for me. I mean, it's just an exercise.
So, how long has it been exactly since you've taken this standardized test, or any standardized test for that matter?
Probably the last time I took a standardized test was 20-something years ago.
And you're confident that you will do just as good, if not better, tomorrow?
I'm confident I'm going to do okay.
And what schools did you apply to when you took the SAT after you got your scores back?
I don't remember all the schools that I applied to. I remember most of the schools that I got accepted into.
And would you care to list off a couple of those for us?
Well, I got accepted at Trinity College, where I graduated from. I got accepted at Middlebury College, Tufts University, Boston University, Yale University, UMass Amherst, University of New Hampshire. I think I'm leaving one or two out, but those are the ones that I recall.
And it's our understanding that you were a college athlete on top of being a scholar. Do you think that if you were to go to a different school other than Trinity with your scores, what school would that be? What school would you have wanted to go to?
Good question. I'm not 100% sure. I know that I thought I made the right choice. I think I probably still would go to Trinity again, given what I knew then. I would still probably go to Trinity.
And based on the scores that you get tomorrow, and considering those schools you applied to, do you feel that there's a different one you would have chose to go to if the tables were flipped and you were taking the test now, had those new scores from tomorrow, and were picking out of the schools that you got accepted to?
It's kind of hard to say because, mentally you're comparing the schools as you knew them when you applied versus what you know them to be now. And while some of them have changed in terms of their makeup and maybe the cultural or social aspects of the school, if I'm looking at it based on the factors that I was considering when I chose to go to college, it would be really hard to say that there's a school now that I would choose to go to as opposed to the school I went to before. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Okay. And what score do you feel you will be getting on the SAT tomorrow?
Well, I've always been good at verbal or English or whatever that's called now, history, sociology, that kind of stuff. So I don't know score-wise, but I would say I should probably be in like the 70th percentile, somewhere in there or better on that part. On the math or analytical stuff, that was always my Achilles heel. So I would expect that my percentile is probably going to be lower on that, maybe in the 50 percentile. But I think that's probably what I would expect.
Okay, well, good luck tomorrow, and we'll see you after the results.
No worries.
Mom, how do you think you will do on the ACT tomorrow?
I think I should do okay.
Are there any sections you're worried about on the test?
Yes, the math.
And why is that?
I'm not sure if I remember everything. Sine and cosine.
And it's been how long since you've taken a standardized test?
Oh, not sure. A good 30 years ago? More than that. More than 30 years ago.
And how do you feel taking a standardized test now, later on in your life? Will be different, easier, harder, the same?
I think it will be a lot harder.
And what schools was it that you applied to when you were applying for colleges?
I don't remember all of them. I know Trinity College was one, and Drexel University.
And based on your scores tomorrow, do you feel that you would have gotten into those schools if the tables were turned and you were taking the test now with the scores you get tomorrow and applying to those same schools?
I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure.
Other than Trinity, if you could go to a different school with different scores that you had got accepted to, which one do you think you would have gone to?
I think I would have liked to have gone to a school within a big city.
Any specific schools?
Maybe like a Northeastern, because it looks like it's, being right there in Boston. Or a Temple, which would be right in Philly. Or even American U, right in DC. I think I would have liked, a school that's right in a bigger city.
Nice.
Small school, but not too big. Small school, but still in a bigger city.
And how do you think...
Or somewhere in New York City would have been nice too.
And how do you think you will do in comparison to your husband tomorrow?
Compared to him? I think I should do well in the math and maybe the science, but not sure about the English part as much. Well, I think I should. I'm not sure really. I think I feel like I should do well. I should do better than him.
Well, we will see, Patrick. Any comebacks? Thoughts?
Dad?
Keep hope alive.
Down with dope. Up with hope.
What?
Wow. Wow.
Okay, we're done.
I think I'm gonna
Deborah, how do you think Mom and Dad will do tomorrow on their standardized testing?
I think they'll do pretty well. I'm expecting Mom to have a better mathematical score, and more likely Dad will have a higher reading score. What are the other sections of it?
Mom's section has science, Dad's does not. But they both have a reading section, a writing section, and a math non-calculator as well as calculator section.
Okay. I'd expect Mom to do better on the math section as a whole.
I don't know about that. I've forgotten everything.
I expect Dad's writing skills to be adequate and carefully able to hide, or rather, carefully able to.
Yes, my way.
Exactly. Yes, I was trying to find a better term than just BS, but that's the point.
And do you think that they will both get into the school that they went to based on their scores from the test tomorrow?
Not a chance. No way. I put money on it that they wouldn't.
And why is that?
Well, it's been a long time since they've been in school. And in that time, things have drastically changed. I think as a whole, on the general intelligence front, they are still as capable, if not more so capable. However, academic restrictions for colleges have drastically changed.
I understand what you're saying. Yes. So it's possible that they think this might be a cakewalk when this will actually be more challenging than a simple multiple choice test.
Indeed.
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So it is Monday morning, Memorial Day. It's about 10 a.m. and we have our test taker. Here's one, ready to go with his tea and his SAT book. And we're waiting on my mom. And then I'm going to sit here and proctor them while they take the exam and make sure no one cheats or anything. But we have a little bit of a fiasco because we couldn't find a calculator. So they will either use my phone calculator, which on the actual test isn't allowed. You can't use phone calculators. You have to use a handheld one. Or they're just not going to have a calculator. Because my mom's test, you get a calculator for the whole math section. And then my dad, it's half is calculator and half is non-cal. So in the end, it probably won't make that big a difference because both of them are very good at math. So I don't think having a calculator is going to change how they would do. So, yep, but we're about to get started. Dad, any thoughts?
I'm not very good at math. I'm really
Yes, you are.
terrible at it.
That's such a lie.
I'm terrible at it.
Anyways. Okay, so they just finished their first sections. Mom, thoughts? And you had what section first, math?
It was awful.
Dad, wait, Dad.
Okay.
Dad,
Yo.
how are you feeling?
You were 23 minutes early.
Yeah,
I feel great.
we'll see about that.
I remember when I took
That's good.
the bar exam, one of my friends got up and left halfway through the exam.
Yeah, someone did that when I took the ACT. They got up and left when they finished. And you're not allowed to leave, and they just were like, I'm done, and left. And and then afterwards the proctors were like, you're not allowed to do
I
that.
saw her later outside, and she was just like, this test is ridiculous.
Yeah, see, Dad just finished in the nick of time, but Mom had a little bit left, right? Right?
No, I did not finish the whole test. There was way too many.
But you were just supposed to do the math section.
I know, but
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
finish the math section.
Sorry, I was
It was
just
way
clarifying.
too much.
Yeah. See, this is what Dad finished literally just, he had a minute left, and he kept saying he was gonna not need all that time. And I
needed
told
it
him,
2
I was like,
hours.
I think he's gonna get in it, and I mean, he did finish in time. But Mom's like me, I never usually finish every section.
I
But-
needed 2 hours.
Spent way too much time reading crap.
Yeah, see? And that's what you told me when I was studying, is you were like, you don't actually have to read it, just read the questions first. And then I saw you reading first, and I was like, he's not using his
But
methods.
with math, you have to read because you can't just pick an answer. You gotta read.
Right. But I took their phones and turned them off, so we're doing this as real as possible. But
All right, let's get on. Let's get to the next.
you don't want to break? I thought you wanted breaks in between, or you want to just go to the next section?
Might as well, because otherwise I'm just gonna.
All right. Okay, next section is, and I'm doing work over here for my sorority, but okay, so let me get them set up for their next section.
Yeah, let's
See how it goes. It's fun to sit here and watch. Just do my work, but
Rocky's watching right
yeah, Rocky's watching too. But okay. Here we have Mr. Speedy Gonzalez. So we just found out. I was looking for my dad's supposed to do the writing section next. And so I'm flipping through and I see all this writing, like circling. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening? And he didn't read the instructions. It says stop. If there's time remaining, you may go back. But he didn't do that. He went to the next section, the writing section, which he's supposed to be taking right now, and did this whole section already in the first time frame. So that first beginning section where he was supposed to have 65 minutes for just this first reading section, he actually did both. So now all he has left is the calculator section. But I was explaining to him that if this were the real test and you finish early, they don't let you go to the next section. You got to sit there and wait for everybody. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing that he did the other section, because I feel like it could be... I feel like it could be bad just because it's not as accurate in terms of scoring, because you might have been rushing because you thought you had less time than you actually would have if we separated it. But I guess we'll see. You know, I knew I had to watch Dad, but I didn't think that he wouldn't read instructions. But also, he doesn't read instructions, so I don't know why I didn't consider. You feeling more confident now that you skipped a section accidentally?
I didn't think the time was an issue. I think I took too long.
Yeah, see, that explains now why you had you finished just in the nick of time. Is because you were doing a whole nother section. Oh boy.
I'm just happy it's done. Yeah. It's a relief.
Yeah, it's a pain to take, isn't it?
It is. I don't know how they expect anybody.
And it's longer than this because they give you breaks, but then they also have to read the instructions out to you before you start each section. And it takes way longer.
Took some of my time away.
Yeah,
if I didn't have to read the instructions, I could have used that time to answer more questions.
Yeah, the actual test is a lot longer.
It was fun. I'm glad it's over.
Good.
Glad I don't have to do this.
Let's see what college you get into.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't think I could get into anything.
We'll see. Okay, so they both finished their test. I'm going to grade them now. And then we'll see how they did, what schools they would get into, all that fun stuff. But I'm going to grade these. Shouldn't take too long because I'm just marking things. So, yeah, but they're all done. Okay, so I finished grading my parents' scores. I have them right here. And then on my computer, I pulled up the national rankings as well as the just general understanding your score. So I'm about to go over this with them. Very interesting scores, I'll say that much. But it was all fun, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so here we go with the results. So Mom, okay, you got English, you got a 15. Okay, and you have to remember YouTube's scaling is different. Math, you got a 15. Reading, 18. And then science, you got a 21. So science was your best section. And then the reading. And then you got the same in math and English.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Interesting.
So your total was 69. You divide that by 4 to get your composite. So you got 17.
Oh.
Composite. So the composite score is out of 36. So that's a 17 out of 36. Okay? Yes.
That's terrible.
That's not bad. I think my first test I got a 19.
Yeah,
so it's like 17. Right around there.
17 is terrible.
I mean, like I said, it's fine. Because usually if you take the test like multiple times and you get better each time. Like the first time I got a 19, then the second time I got a 22. So it's like you improve.
What's the time limit?
So, any thoughts to share? Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
I suck. I thought it was terrible. I failed miserably.
No, you didn't.
So disappointing. But it was fun. It's just a matter of the time. It's just, there's not enough time.
Did you think you were going to do the best in the science?
No, I didn't think so.
Which part did you thought the math?
No, I thought I'd do better in the reading. Or one of the comprehension.
I thought you would do best in the science, so I'm not surprised.
The science, actually, you're right. It wasn't too bad, and I kind of just raced through it.
If Dad did science, I'd be worried. Moving on to Dad.
No, train wreck.
Dad took the SAT. Okay. So, I was shocked.
ACT
I was in
is the
tears
test.
almost. No, I was just kidding. Okay, so for your combined reading and writing, you got 590. And that's out of 800.
Not bad, Dad.
So not bad.
Yeah, way
At
above
all.
that. Yeah.
We'll have to calculate the national ranking after. And then for the math, you got a 410 out of 800.
Still not bad. He beat the.
So your composite or your total was 700 out of 1600.
What? It can't be. 400 plus 500 is not 700.
590 plus 410?
It would be
No.
9. It would be 1,000.
It's 10.
Wait, what?
It would be.
It's
It
1,000.
would be 1,000.
Wait, hold on.
You recording this?
0, 0. Yeah, I am, unfortunately.
You can't add, sweetheart.
Oh, 10.
You tipped Dad.
It's 1,000. I mean, that's still not that different. Out of 1,600.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's still not bad.
It's your score.
Mine?
You
I got an 1120. That was the best I got. So not that far
See?
away.
Told you.
Your score was very similar to mine. Which section did you think you were gonna do the best on? Or are you surprised by your
bad score.
No, because a lot of the math stuff I didn't even bother because it was like stuff.
Yeah, he left a lot
I didn't even
of it
bother.
blank. And
I did too.
No, but his was worse.
Yeah, I didn't even
There was a
bother.
whole entire open-ended math questions that weren't multiple choice, and he just didn't answer a single one. He didn't even write any workout. This he wrote 45%, and the answer was asking for a fraction. So I was like, I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much knew that the math was gonna be what I didn't take math in college, so I mean I didn't know anything. So I just figured math. When I got to certain things, I just didn't even bother.
Yeah, and both of their defenses, they didn't have a calculator when they were supposed to.
Yeah.
So that probably
that
made it
really
harder.
that hurt me.
Well, thank you for participating today.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So what are your thoughts on standardized tests? Ridiculous?
Well, I've always said to you, I've never believed that the test measured aptitude. It measured the ability to, to take tests. And I think that based
Yeah.
on how I did today, in light of the fact that I did no prep,
Right.
I totally blew through the time frames for the sections. I did 2 sections in the same span of time as one.
Mm-hmm.
I blew off majority of the math because I hadn't looked at real math in a long time. And I just did the things that required logical reasoning, and I didn't bother with all this other stuff. So based on that, and to still wind up with a halfway decent score, what does that tell you?
You just gotta know how to take a test.
Yeah,
people.
it is.
That's all it is.
It's not much.
Yep.
Nice Memorial Day exercise.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day, everyone.
a second, third spot somewhere else, please. I'm not doing this if you're gonna like that in the shot. I wasn't interfering with his shot.
You hear that, Dad? She said take a hike. She said she's not gonna do
Come
it.
on.
So, Mom, how do you think you will do on the SAT or ACT tomorrow?
Are you putting on a voice?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Could reread.
Well, you didn't have a voice.
Beautiful.